Cleanup began this morning in Minneapolis after violence rocked the city for a fourth straight night. Thousands of protesters took to the streets last night in defiance of an 8 p.m. curfew, setting buildings and cars on fire, looting local businesses, and firing on law enforcement. Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin was charged yesterday with murder and manslaughter in the death of George Floyd. Despite Chauvin's arrest, the rioting escalated overnight. Police, state troopers, and 700 National Guard troops tried to calm the chaos, while firefighters worked to contain the blazes. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey held a press conference at 1:30 in the morning, pleading with protesters to stop.
I'm deeply concerned with the people who you need to go home. You need to go home. This is not about George's death. This is not about inequities that were real. This is about chaos being caused.
There is no honor in burning down your city. There is no pride in looting.
This morning, Governor Walz announced a full mobilization of the Minnesota National Guard, activating another 1,000 troops, the largest domestic deployment in the state's history.
Our great cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul are under assault by people who do not share our values, who do not value life and the work that went into this, and certainly are not here to honor George Floyd.
As Minneapolis prepares for more protests, I spoke with Minnesota Public Radio reporter Matt Sepik, who was on the streets during both peaceful protests and as violence broke out last night. Matt, you were out in the streets last night. What did you see?
Utter chaos. I walked for many miles throughout the Lake Street area in South Minneapolis, which has been the heart of the unrest here in the city. There were fires everywhere, a very light law enforcement presence for most of the evening. Later on, some National Guard troops were finally able to get through to assist and protect firefighters who were putting out a gas station fire, one of many fires burning in structures along Lake Street.
Well, what do we know about the people who were responsible for this? What are authorities saying now?
At a news conference this morning, St. Paul Mayor Melvin Carter said the number of people that they arrested last night were all from out of town. Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota says that the demonstrations have moved from legitimate protest and civil disobedience to out and out rioting that has nothing to do with protesting the murder, in his words, of Mr. George Floyd.
Give me an idea of the neighborhoods where this is happening. Who lives there? What's it like for people who are not familiar with the city?
Lake Street is a very diverse area, working class, many immigrant businesses, many people of color, a lot of restaurants. There's a large Hispanic community, Latino community that lives along Lake Street, and much of it now is destroyed. A lot of these businesses that have taken generations to be built were gone in a night of rioting.
Have you seen the size of the peaceful portions of the protest stay the same, increase, decrease, the type of people who are coming?
They appear to be the same. There was a protest just before sunset, before the curfew yesterday on Interstate 35W through downtown Minneapolis. They marched, they closed down the freeway, as you have seen in past protests. And that dispersed and people walked away. And on Thursday evening, there was a similar protest outside the Hennepin County Government Center in downtown Minneapolis, demanding the prosecution of the police officers involved. Again, that was a peaceful protest. The actions that you're seeing with looting and rioting, the governor, other authorities here say this is a separate group of people. Many of them do not live here, and they're coming in to foment chaos because they see the tension that has built and the anger that has built following the death of George Floyd.